Manchester City have become a dominant force in English and European football in recent years. With a distinctive style of play developed by Pep Guardiola, this team continues to show superiority in various events. However, behind the huge success achieved by City, there is one figure who often escapes the spotlight despite his crucial role: Rodri. Rodrigo Hernandez Cascandi, or better known as Rodri, has been at the heart of Manchester City's game since joining from Atletico Madrid in 2019. He is a player who does not score many goals or make a large number of assists, but his presence on the pitch is a key foundation that allows City to carry out its philosophy of play. Without it, City are like losing control, losing balance, and losing their identity. Rodri's role as a defensive midfielder is unique. It serves not only as a cutter for the opponent's attack, but also as a regulator of the rhythm of the game. In Guardiola's system, a defensive midfielder must be able to read the game carefully, make decisions quickly, and have extraordinary composure under pressure. Rodri has all those attributes. His smooth first touch, expansive vision, and superb passing accuracy have made him a key force in City's transition from defense to attack. One of the most important aspects of Rodri's game is his ability to maintain depth and connect the backline with the midfield. He is always in the right position to absorb the opponent's pressure, intercept the ball, or even commit tactical fouls if necessary to stop the opponent's counterattack. His intelligence in reading the game really helps City in maintaining their dominance of possession and closing gaps that can be exploited by opponents. Rodri also has physical attributes that support his role. His high posture and strength make him difficult to defeat in aerial duels as well as in ground battles for the ball. He is not the type of aggressive defensive midfielder like Casemiro or N'Golo Kante, but more like Sergio Busquets, relying on intelligence, positioning, and distribution of the ball rather than just relying on physicality. With that ability, he becomes the foundation that makes other players around him can play more freely and attack without worrying about losing the balance of the team. The impact of Rodri's presence is felt in big matches. One of the best examples is the 2022-23 Champions League final against Inter Milan. In that game, City struggled to penetrate Inter's disciplined defense. However, Rodri kept his cool, kept the stability of the game, and eventually scored the winning goal that led Manchester City to their first Champions League trophy in history. That moment showed that in addition to being a link in the game, he was also able to appear as a differentiator in crucial situations. However, how important Rodri was only really seen when he was absent. In the 2023-24 season, Manchester City experienced some bad results when Rodri did not play. They lost to Wolves and Arsenal, two games that confirmed how big the role of the Spanish midfielder is. Without Rodri, City are out of balance in midfield. Opponents more easily exploit the gap between their defensive line and midfield. The circulation of the ball was not as smooth as usual, and the team became more vulnerable to counterattacks. This fact further confirms that although City are filled with star players on every line, they still rely on Rodri's figure as the anchor of the game. Guardiola himself has admitted several times that Rodri is an irreplaceable player in his squad. In a press conference, he once said that Rodri is the best defensive midfielder in the world and one of the most important players in our game system. Guardiola is aware that City might be able to win without Kevin De Bruyne or Erling Haaland in some games, but without Rodri, his team will have a big difficulty. If you look at the history of Manchester City in recent years, it is difficult to imagine them achieving the treble in the 2022-23 season without the outstanding contribution of Rodri. He is a player who keeps the balance between attacking and defending, making sure the team stays in full control in every game. He may not be the player with the biggest media attention or the most spectacular goalscorer, but his influence on the team's success is undeniable. At a relatively young age for a defensive midfielder, Rodri still has many years ahead to continue to be the foundation of Manchester City. With his ever-growing abilities and maturing experience, he could become one of the best defensive midfielders in the history of the English League and even world football. Manchester City may have plenty of star players, but without Rodri, the team would be much more vulnerable and missing out on the key elements that made them so dominant. Rodri is not just a defensive midfielder. He is the brain of the game, the counterweight of the team, and an indispensable element in Guardiola's tactics. If Manchester City continue to win trophies in the future, one thing is certain: Rodri will always be one of the main reasons behind that success.